the younger generations are not willing to accept this any longer. And that's the kind of allyship that I think people, I'll just say 35 and up. You happen to know I'm well older than that, even though, what's the saying, Colleen, black don't crack, right? But at the end of the day, I think to something that Nozomi said earlier, and the initial question I think you asked us, Angelique, about, who needs to be in this conversation. I think we have to take a step back when we look at organizations who are trying to have this discussion and recognize that if they have not ensured that it's a safe space to have the conversation, they're not going to get to the truth. And so if you're going to get a group of people across the organization, which I wholeheartedly agree with Nozomi, all stakeholders need to be in that conversation. But if something happens, the minute, someone devalues a contribution, the minute that all voices aren't heard, your efforts are going to be, thwarted, for lack of a better term. And so I think, organizations have to get to the place where they're really clear that whether they want to be compliant, which, is certainly appropriate, and legally you have to be compliant, or they really want to have an organization that is going to ensure that the most marginalized in their communities can be successful, they're going to have to commit somewhere. They're going to have to plant a flag and then do that work, and recognize that organizations that do the work, that are really committed, are going to be the ones that ultimately win in the marketplace. Because, we were talking about this the other day, Black Twitter is a beast. And what we have found is that the issues that are happening in the United States to people of color are happening in the UK to people of color, and are happening in other parts of the world to people of color. And so organizations can no longer hide, and they're just going to have to make a decision. We all know the power of a choice. And if you can make the decision and then take designed action to implement that decision and hold the right people accountable. I had an opportunity yesterday to hear Butch Graves Jr., the CEO of Black Enterprise, was talking to Doug McMillon, the CEO of Walmart. And one of the things that he said in that interview was that he was so grateful to people like Butch who are holding him accountable. And he talked about all of the ways that he was inviting, all of the people who are employed by Walmart and all of Walmart's customers to really hold this organization to account for what they say that they're going to be doing. And I think when organizations make decisions to say, we recognize we have a global consumer base, and our global consumer base is not okay with this, the more people recognize that, the more the actions will change.